Okay.
All right.
Good evening and welcome to the historic Watertown Civic Arena, the legendary home of the Watertown Arrows. You're watching Arrow TV, the best high school sports broadcast brought to you entirely by Watertown High School community members and high school students. I'm Cam Corey, joined by Jason Hemrick in the booth here tonight. We've got Sioux Falls Roosevelt on the court coming to town. Arrows returning home after being on the road just a little bit, and you know, these two teams both come in not really where they want to be. 3-12 on the season.
No, and I would actually say that this is a playoff game already because they're both at the bottom of the SODAC 16 rankings, so a win is going to be a big deal for either one of these teams. So yeah, I think even though we might think they're even in a sense, they're different teams though. So there's going to be matchups tonight that are going to determine this outcome, I think.
Well, as you talk about the two teams being different, I think Sioux Falls Roosevelt obviously has the height advantage here tonight, and maybe Watertown has maybe a little speed advantage.
Yeah, I would like to think that for Watertown's sake, if they can push the ball tonight, get it up the court, whether they get down for an easy basket right away, but just force Roosevelt to run a little bit. From what I've seen, they play primarily about 7, maybe 8 kids. If they can get maybe their tall girl, the Harris girl, who's a sophomore, who's showing she's got some pretty good abilities. I think we're going to hear more and more of her next year. But if we can get her in foul trouble, maybe get her a little tired, hopefully. I don't know if she will, but that could be to our advantage going into the second half.
And you're talking about Callie Harris, the 6'3" sophomore, just a big inside presence, you know, and plays a lot of club basketball, a hard worker, and she's going to probably create some problems for the Arrows in the lane. Yeah,
I agree. She's got a good, strong post move. I think she tends to go to her right a little more. So, again, I've watched a little bit of film. I could be wrong with this, but to me, scouting her, I would try to guard that right side a little stronger, maybe force her to put it on the ground and have her go to the left. And who knows, maybe we can swipe it from her, but keep her from putting the ball up around the rim and maybe even try to push her out a little farther. So.
Oh, they want to autograph. Look at that. Getting the autograph.
Jeez,
wearing the Arrow TV shirts tonight. Look at that. My goodness, we're getting some autographs up here in the Arrow TV booth.
All right. This is an old picture here. This is 1990.
Look at that.
This was actually a game against the #1 team in the state that year, Northwestern.
Wow.
Wow, that's old.
I got a couple of them. Look at that, Jason Hemrick over here getting some autographs from the young Arrow faithful here. And that's not Arrow. That is going
that's
back.
Roscoe Hornets.
Roscoe Hornets. There's not even a Roscoe Hornet around anymore.
No, there aren't. They're now Edmond Central combined with Hosmer. So I got to find out who did that. That's
wow.
That's kind of funny.
Well, that is pretty cool. Yeah. we knew something had to be going when we heard in our right ear. We're going to put you back on camera.
Well, I've always told people I was all city my senior year, but you know, as a town of 306 seniors, so.
I love it. Well, hey, these two teams met about 1 year ago to the date. Last year, they met down in Sioux Falls Roosevelt, and it was a memorable game in that one. These two teams came down to the wire. It was a defensive battle for the most part. 32-30 was the barn burner down there in Roosevelt. A 2-point game, a grind it out type of game. But in that game, Henley Loof scored 20 of Sioux Falls Roosevelt's 30 points.
Yeah, and we'll talk about her more when this game gets going, but
she's gonna
very
be
good shooter, yes.
We're going to turn it over to our public address announcer, Mark Bellum, for our national anthem and starting lineups.
starters, move in your hat. Stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty personnel not in uniform may salute the flag. The anthem will be played by the Watertown High School Band under the direction of Austin Florida. First, let's meet our Arrow cheerleaders. Taylor Buckles, Kendra Buckles, Morgan Voss, and Paige Hybert. And now the starters for the visiting Rough Riders from Sioux Falls, Roosevelt. Number 2 is a 5'1" senior guard, Alicia Flores Delgado. Number 24 is a 5'10" senior forward, Caitlin Dewitt. Number 30 is a 5'8" sophomore guard, Henley Lowe. Number 32 is a 6' senior forward, Emma Adams. And number 51 is a 6'3" sophomore forward, Callie Harris. Assistant coaches, Gretchen Johnson, Malik Dunn, and Greg Anderson. Head coach of the Rough Riders, Blake Bradfield. And now our Arrow Ball Girls, Ida Nansel, Zoe Dale, Claire Bach, Amelia Erickson, Emerson Iverson, Nola Peterson, McKenna Knippling, and Monroe Dornbush. And now your Watertown Arrow starters. The number 4 is a 5'7" junior guard, Eddie Olsen. Number 5 is a 5'6" junior guard, Lily Mack. Number 12, a 5'7" junior guard, Jordan Remmer. Number 20, a 5'9" senior forward, Ellie Thury. And number 42 is a 5'6" senior guard, Kinsey Russell. Assistant coaches, Mackenzie Bulow, Jesse House, Jay Bengals. Head coach of the Arrows, Chad Rooney.
And there you have it. The starters for both teams have been announced. For Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, the Rough Riders. Number 2, a senior 5'1" guard in Alicia Flores Delgado. Number 24, Caitlin Dewan, a senior forward. Henley Loaf wears number 30. She's a good shooter, folks. Sophomore guard. Emma Adams, a 6-foot senior, and Callie Harris, a 6'3" sophomore for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. For the Arrows, we have Kinsey Russell. Ellie Thury will be jumping. Andy Olson, Jordan Remmers, and Lily Mack. And the tip is won by Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Ellie Thury has a big challenge going against the 6'3" center for Roosevelt. And there they do a really good job in travel.
And talked about that, you know, briefly before the game. I don't know her ability to go left, and I'm not saying she can't, but we got her to go left there, and we were able to tie her up and get her into a travel. So it's a good start for us defensively, but they're going to look to go high-low and get the ball to her under the basket, which if we can't help on the backside, we're going to have troubles.
Near steal, and it is a steal by Remmers. Remmers sees the court, gives it to Russell. Russell goes in, jump stop, and
nice
off the
ball
glass. Kinsey Russell with the game's first 2 points. By the way, this is a good segue. Happy birthday to Rhett Russell. Thanks for letting us know, Fred. That would be Kinsey's father, Rhett.
Probably about, what, 30, 32 today, I'm guessing?
Oh, he looks it.
Yeah.
Looks 30, 32.
Yeah.
As we see Russell on the move, gets it over to Mack. Mack has trouble with it, gives it to Russell, or to Thury.
You know, there's a shot that Thury passed up, and I'm kind of okay with it because typically you can get that shot with 10 seconds left in the shot clock, and I like that they worked it a little bit, forced Rosie to play a little defense, and you know, I think one of the keys for the Arrows will be if we can see if we can tire them out. I don't know if we can, but
the 5'1" Delgado came out of that scrum with the rebound.
She's their spark plug on the court, that's for sure.
The Arrows are going up and down the court really well, running the court well. Rebound to Olson. Now Remmers. Remmers sees Russell. Russell back to Mack. Mack shoots.
There we go,
bullseye. Lily Mack. She's got 3.
That's a good sign for the Arrows. Lily's struggled a little bit, so for her to see that first one go in it's a good thing for the Arrows. So hopefully that just builds her confidence and we can go from there. But I like the ball pressure.
And you can see that Roosevelt is really trying to get it into the paint to their bigs.
But yeah, and you know what, they still have a couple girls that if we aren't careful, especially Henley Loof, she can shoot the ball, and if she gets in a groove, it's tough to get her out of it. So we'll see how this plays out, though.
You know, we have relatives playing on the court tonight, Jason.
You do?
No, we don't. We don't. But there's 2 relatives that are facing off against each other on the court.
Who's that?
Well, Miss Loaf and Ellie Thury are first cousins.
No way.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty cool. Where'd you find that out? Were you talking to Ellie's mom?
No. I remember last year it was Emery Thury playing versus her, and she was a freshman, and she came out and tore it up in that game.
Yep.
The Arrows will maintain possession, and right on cue, Henley Loaf goes after that one on the court. She really hasn't had the opportunity to shoot yet, but that is one that you don't want to give an open shot to. Turnover for the Arrows, and that is seeing the freshman of Lydia Stemwedel. And they're going to count that. Bucket goes to Callie Harris. And she is going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and that's tough. You know, once she got the ball there, she gets herself established. It's going to be pretty tough to not keep her from either scoring the layup or going to the line like this.
Well, even she got the offensive rebound and she had position right there.
Yeah. And I think we could even box her out pretty well. And she can still, with her height, still get that rebound.
And she does make the traditional three-point play. 7-3 here in the early going of quarter number 1. Russell, good drive, gives it off to Thury. Thury shoots, short. Andy Olson with the rebound. She's trapped down low. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, 3 seconds. We're getting some offensive boards, which is nice. Into the game now for the Arrows is number 34, Emma Olson, the freshman.
And we've seen her play really well in the opportunities that she's gotten. I like her ceiling.
Yeah, she seems to be under control. I think she knows the game well. She dropped down there, and she was a little late, but still she saw it, and she's like, I got to get there. And, you know, she's going to just learn from that and be down there quicker next time. Again, I would try to get, you know, like getting Harris out there and trying to keep her out there as far as possible. So, like, if she gets the ball right there, I'm fine with that.
And there is Loafs, and she shoots deep and puts that in.
And if people think that was, like, I don't want to say lucky, but that's what she can do. So,
yeah, that's not luck for her. She is a really good shooter. And that's a good foul for the Arrows. When she's away from the hoop like that, I'll take that.
I do think she has a tendency, like when she's away from the basket, she'll kind of drop her hands down and reach for the ball a little bit. I've seen that. So, to me, if she comes out and guards, we may want to try to drive against her and see if we can get her in foul trouble.
Torrance Tipton in for the Arrows. And we will see a steal for Roosevelt. And that is Payson Seava. Seava, maybe?
I think so. Good take, nice pass.
Emma Olson for 2. So if you're listening to us, you're at home, it's a beautiful evening. We got a doubleheader. Get down here to the Civic Arena, enjoy this atmosphere. It's kind of electric. This is
there's a good crowd here.
Come on down and get a hot dog out of the concession stand. Can't beat it. Olson shoots and just too long. Payson is going to get the rebound. She is a 5'2" freshman. Picks up her dribble in trouble. Harris goes and gets it. Emma Adams with the shot, and that is going to be last touched by Roosevelt.
Arrow girls on defense are just getting a little scattered here, where they're you know, getting out of a rotation, and then we end up with 2 on 1 player, and there's someone open always, and we just got to try to stay on our own, you know, the person that they're assigned to a little more if they can.
This is a big game for both of these teams. They are right at the end of the Sodak 16 power points. Both of these teams want to strengthen their standing so they can play in postseason.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know, we had a little technical difficulty before the game, and we talked about some of this when we found out we might not be live.
We were talking to ourselves.
We were talking to each other, but yeah, it's kind of a playoff game, I feel. A big win for either one of these teams tonight.
Loaf shoots just short. Rebound by Remmers. Remmers on the move. Goes steps through into the lane, and she is going to be fouled. They're going to call that foul, I believe, on
Roof got that one, I think.
Or 24.
Maybe
I think maybe.
Oh yeah,
Dewan?
she did reach.
Yeah, they gave that to Dewan, and that's Caitlin Dewan, the senior, a 5'10" senior. She's going to check out, and that is her second foul here in quarter number 1. So here in this first quarter, the Arrows have used a lot of different girls. They've been subbing out. They've played, I believe, 8 in this first quarter.
That time Lily just didn't quite have her feet under her, I didn't feel. Kind of hurried it with that girl coming out on her, so.
Ellie Thury will check back in for Torrance Tipton. Delgado back in, she's the point guard. Delgado shoots. Hard off the iron. Rebound down low by Payson.
That one's on
Seava.
Andy Olson, I'm guessing.
That will send Payson to the free throw line. So both of these point guards for Roosevelt, 5'1", 5'2", quick, but they're getting in, they're getting some rebounds.
Yeah, they are, like I said, you know, they're kind of spark plugs for this engine. They work hard, they drive, they'll kick. I know that Delgado she'll spot up, she'll can a three-pointer, so we can't fall asleep on her.
The rebound by Emma Adams. She shoots it, misses. Now Russell on the drive. She goes into the lane. She's down deep. Harris just was there enough to adjust that shot.
I like that she went at her because, like I said, if we can get another foul on her, she's probably going to sit for a bit. And
Kinsey to Remmers. Remmers goes in the court, and she is going to be fouled by Payson Saya Savan. That should be Payson's first foul, I believe.
I like the pace. What do you think of the pace right now?
This is what we talked about when we were talking to ourselves, and you know, in the technical difficulty, that this is what we were kind of hoping the Arrows were going to come out and do.
And again, I only know a little bit from watching some of the games that Roosevelt have played, but to me, if we get to the second half, because I think they primarily play about 7, maybe 8. If we can get them, you know, a little bit out of breath the second half, I think that we stand a better chance then. So keeping this game in range or even with a lead in the first half, I think is an advantage for us, but we'll see.
Payson on the top, guarded by Stemwedel, now gives it off to Delgado. Delgado tries to go low to Harris, and that is going to be off of Jordan Remmers.
There's that backside help we need, though. We got to have it, or she's going to eat us alive down there.
Callie Harris, and we mentioned that she is 6'3", real good post player, and Ellie Thury has drawn the job of guarding her tonight. So far, she's done a good job.
Pretty good job, yeah. You know, she's gotten down there a couple times on us, but there was a pretty good defensive play. I think if she would have gone down right away, she might have got a charge out of it. But and then again, if I was coaching for Roosevelt, I'd probably want to foul.
Steal by Russell, that's right. Russell's into the paint, she goes in, shoots, no good. Good rebound by Jordan Remmers in the follow. That will send Jordan Remmers to the free throw line.
I think this is about the best I've seen us rebound offensively this year so far. We're really attacking that, you know, the missed shots. That's nice to see.
Henley Loaf is called for her first foul. The Arrows take a 12-9 lead here in quarter number 1. Payson will come down with that rebound, gets it across the 10-second line. Lydia Stemwedel on the defense. Now off to Loaf. Loaf shoots, jumper, no good. Rebound to Emma Adams down low, and Emma Adams is going to be fouled.
Looks like Remmers probably with her first.
And that is Jordan Remmers' first foul. She's going to check out, and Olsen will come back in for the Arrows. 2 freshmen on the court for Watertown. Shots up by Adams, no good, and good rebound by Emma Olsen. She goes up and gets that one. Now she's going to bring it across the 10-second line. 8 seconds remaining. Russell with the drive, shoots off the glass. No good. So at the end of the first quarter, the Watertown Arrows up 12-9. We're going to send it down to Molly Rosh, our sideline reporter for this game. Take it away, Molly.
Hi, my name is Molly Rosh, and I'm here with Steve Moore. Can you tell me a little bit more about your history here at Watertown and like how you got to Sioux Falls?
Started teaching and coaching in Watertown in the fall of 1991. I spent 10 years here as a teacher and a coach, then went to Rapid City, came back in 2007, and was an administrator here in Watertown for 11 years before I went to Sioux Falls.
Perfect. Can you tell me a little bit more like about like your idea behind like the stadium over there?
Yeah, Mr. Boyan shared with you that I had an idea behind the stadium, and that is true. That one of the things that when I was the athletic director here at Roosevelt or at Watertown is that had a vision. We had a vision with our coaches and some other staff and our administration that we would build a stadium someday as beautiful as the one is out here right now. So it's an awesome thing for Watertown.
Perfect. Thank you, Seymour. Back up to you guys.
And thank you, Molly Rosh. Molly is our sideline reporter here for this Lady Arrows game, and had a great interview with the former activities director here for the Arrows, and Steve Moore.
Yeah, he was a coach at one time. He went out to Rapid City and was a coach out there. Came back, he came back and was the assistant superintendent for a few years, and then he became the AD, and so yeah, he did a good job, and then. Moved down to Sioux Falls, and he's been at Rosie now for a while.
Shots up by Thury, no good, and she follows her shot, gets the rebound, gives it off to Olson.
I was going to say this at the end of that quarter break, probably something that maybe goes a little unnoticed, but Emma Olson, the freshman, gets the rebound and just takes right off into the dribble to lead the break, and I just think that's a nice quality to have. I know with our boys, you'll see Jack Mack be able to do that. A post player that can get the rebound and start that push up the court, so that she's comfortable to do that. I'd like to see that. That's good.
Shot was up by Harris and good, and then the foul was on Ellie Thury. That's going to be her first. That'll send Harris back to the free throw line, and she is 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. She's got 8 points here in this battle between Roosevelt and the Arrows. And Steve Moore's wife Mitzi was a counselor, right?
She was teacher for a while. She was a science teacher at the middle school. Actually worked with her for a while, and then she got into administration and was one of the assistant principals.
Oh, she was an assistant.
And I think she's now in Brandon Valley as one of the assistant principals, I believe.
Well, I saw her here as well, and so welcome back to Steve and Mitzi, and thanks for taking some time out and meeting with our sideline reporter and Molly Rosh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we saw Ellie Thury on a great drive and took it right at Callie Harris, got the foul, now goes to the line, but Callie Harris has got 2 fouls, so they're going to sub her out.
And that's big for us because we were starting to feel the effects on the defensive end of her ability to score, get offensive boards, but the thing that's going to make her dangerous the next couple of years, I think, isn't just that she's going to be a good post player. It's the fact that you can't just foul her and try to take an advantage away because she's good at the line as well. So she's going to be, again, I think you're going to hear Callie Harris's name the next couple years down in the Sioux Falls area.
I agree. She's only a sophomore. She's going to get better and better and stronger, and footwork is just going to improve. Yeah, she'll be fun to watch as we see Lily Mack shoots, and no good. You can see the frustration come back a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like she's just kind of leaning so much, not getting square and getting her feet underneath and getting a good, elevation with her jump. That first one she shot that she made, she just looked so good and ready. So
one of the things that we're also seeing is Jordan Remmer has the assignment on Loaf tonight. She has been really playing some tight defense on her, and Loaf's only got 3 points, and that's a win for the Arrows.
I think so. And the important thing, because earlier in the year we'd see Remmers get into foul trouble, and really I wouldn't be looking to say, hey, you got to get a steal. Just keep her from getting an open look, move your feet, keep her from possibly not even let her get the ball, but if she gets it, just get a hand up on the shot, but don't let her drive.
And you can see Coach Rohde just trying to settle down his team is off of that turnover, and just relax. We're in a good spot. That's what he's telling his team.
I think as their defense starts to overplay us a little bit, we're going to have to look for some backdoor cuts.
And that is Addison Dreek, the 5'6" senior guard that came in here in this second quarter and drains that three-pointer for Roosevelt.
Having a senior being able to come in like this, that's kind of a bonus, I would think. Someone that maybe doesn't have the jitters.
She just shots up by Russell, no good. Remmers will track that down, goes back to Mack. Mack looks inside. And there's Russell, gives it off to Olsen. Olsen shoots. Rebound to Caitlin Dewan.
Yeah, she's good.
Shots up and good, yeah.
I think I'd almost even consider double teaming her, and who do you leave open? You know, you got to determine that, but just to at least stop her.
Yeah, last year as I was watching, and I was down in Roosevelt watching her play, and she just kind of took over that game. Again, she scored 20 of Roosevelt's 30 points in that game, but I dared to say she had a little Caitlin Clark-esque.
Yeah, you can see that.
She shoots from anywhere. She's deep. It doesn't have to be right at that three-point line. And we've seen that here tonight.
That's a good job cutting her off. Into the game now for the Arrows, 33, Lauren Paulson. Not sure if I've seen her on the court yet this year, but she may have gotten in before. But
Lauren Paulson, a 5'11" sophomore. So the Arrows trying to maybe match up some height versus height, I think.
You know, with Harris out now, we can be a little more one-on-one down low, and maybe we can try to do some trapping in the corners if it works.
You know, the Roosevelt Rough Riders have 2 goalies on the court right now.
Really?
Yep, soccer goalies. One was a second team All-State player, and Caitlin Dewan and Addison Dreek are the 2 soccer players, both goalies. As we see Russell puts that up from the left side.
That was a nice job by Remmers to change course and draw the defender and then bounce pass.
Good defense by Remmers, just punches it out as Loaf is trying to go past her. We'll see some substitutions. Harris will check back in, as does Alicia Flores Delgado. Delgado, just a gym rat. She loves the game of basketball, plays a lot of it in the off season. Good feed too.
Yeah, and a nice job to reestablish herself there to get that layup.
Loaf to Dewan. Dewan puts that in for 2. That is her first 2 points in the game. Olsen sees a cutting Olsen, tries to get it to her. Just a little bit behind her. And stolen by Roosevelt. Harris down low, big mismatch, step through, left hand.
So there she's showing me that she can go left. So like I said, I hadn't seen a lot of that type of move, but she's obviously been working on that, and that's just going to make her that much more dangerous. So really nice move.
Paulson was open on that cut. Russell just missed her. Now to Olsen. Stemwedel with the shot, and she's got it. Bullseye. Lydia Stemwedel.
Much needed. Another freshman for us.
22-18, Roosevelt on top as Loaf puts in 2 more. That's good defense.
Yeah.
And the offense just beat the defense there.
Made a really nice shot. Sometimes that happens. I mean, you could say she just made a better shot, but you also, as a coach, go, well, don't let her get the lane, but she's good.
Steal by Loaf, and Loaf goes down and puts that in quickly. Loaf to 10 points. She just had 3 at the quarter break.
Yep.
We were talking about how they had kept her numbers low. Shots up by Russell. Russell knew that one. As soon as she shot it, she just stepped away and kind of watched it. That was a pretty shot by Kinsey Russell.
We've talked about it this year a little bit. If we can just make some 3-pointers throughout the game, it tends to keep us in the games, and we just haven't had very good success doing that. But tonight, we've had some timely 3s, so it's keeping us where we need to be.
Down low to Harris. Harris backs herself in. Goes up for 2. Harris now with 12. So Loaf and Harris really taking over on the offensive side for Roosevelt. Lydia Stemwedel is going to be fouled on the floor, so the Arrows will inbound this underneath their basket.
That's her 3rd.
That is Caitlin Dewan.
Dewan's third. That's big for us.
5'10"
Yeah.
senior. That senior leadership now off of the court, and she's 5'10", so
Yeah.
she's got that height.
That helps us to have somebody that's an athlete with some height.
Stemwedel heating up.
Yeah. Gets it back to a 4-point lead here for Roosevelt.
Lydia Stemwedel with 8 points to lead the Arrows. Loaf with the shot, no good. Rebound by Stemwedel. That quickness of Alicia Flores Delgado just punched that out from Stemwedel.
Can't quit going for the ball because she's not going to. Be nice if we could maybe get something at Harris and maybe see if we can get a foul on her here.
Step through deep by Remmers, no good. Rebound by Loaf. Loaf behind the back dribble. She's a good ball handler as well.
She is. Yeah, I would imagine she's going to be playing at the next level.
Only a sophomore. Harris sees the court, gives it to
Oh, nice shot. Way to step into that.
Adams, and Adams with the mid-range
senior.
jumper. Yeah, another senior, 6-foot senior. Plays a lot of club basketball as well. Stemwedel, she's got the hot hand. She shoots. Misses that one. Harris gets the rebound.
Maybe not quite in the flow or the rhythm of an offense there. Just kind of created herself a shot. And
not as set in that
Yeah.
shot as she was the last two that she had made. And it looks like the Rough Riders are just going to take the last shot as Loaf is guarded by Remmers. She's got to make a movement. And Loaf with the drive.
oh,
And just at the last moment,
got her
good
second.
battle between those
Yeah.
two, though. I mean, good defense by Remmers, good offense, and she just lost her balance and
Yep.
fell down, and foul will be called on Jordan Remmers. That is going to be her second.
I would not.
But 1.2 seconds, it doesn't give them a lot of time to set something up here.
Well, they had it if we wouldn't have touched it. They definitely had the backdoor cut from Harris, and they would have had a layup there. So that was a nice little play they had.
So at the half, Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders lead the Watertown Arrows 30-24. We are live for Dakota Land Federal Credit Union and DFS Insurance. We'll be back after these short messages.
I'm Gabby Olson and I'm a junior. If you ever visit my house, you have to see my really fat dog, Bogey. The person I looked up to the most is my dad, probably. When I'm not playing basketball, I like to golf. If I could take a high school class over again, it would be Algebra 2. If I could learn to play any musical instrument, I would play the piano.
Hi, I'm Andy Olson. I'm a junior. My favorite high school memory is going to Rapid last year. When I'm not playing basketball, I like to read. The person I look up to the most is probably my brother. If I had to eat one meal every day for the rest of my life, it would be probably steak. If I were a character in any movie, I would want to be Spider-Man, probably.
Hi, my name is Lily Mack, and I'm a junior at Watertown High School. My favorite high school memory is when we went to Rapid for basketball and the showers weren't working. The person I look up to the most is my mom. When I'm not playing basketball, I like to read. If I could be any animal, I'd be a giraffe. And if I could be any superhero, I would be Superwoman. If I won the lottery, I would save it all and donate it.
My name is Emmy. I'm a sophomore. My favorite high school memory is probably playing softball. The person I look up to most is probably my parents. When I'm not playing basketball, I like to play softball. If I could be any animal, I would probably be an otter. If I could be any superhero, I would be Superman. If I won the lottery, I would travel around the world.
Hi, I'm Jordan Remmers and I'm a junior. My go-to meal is chicken bacon ranch. My favorite pro sports team is the Yukon basketball team. My favorite TV show is Gilmore Girls. The person I look up to the most is my grandma. And when I'm not playing basketball, I like to hang out with friends and go to church. If I could travel anywhere in the world, I would go to the Bahamas.
Hi, I'm Molly Rosh, and I'm here with Coach Bellum, and I'm going to ask you a little bit about your history coaching, okay? So how long have you been like a volleyball coach, or like what other like sports did you coach?
Well, I've been in the district for 28 years. I started my very first year coaching volleyball, 8th grade assistant, and worked up. I've also coached girls basketball as a freshman, 8th grade and 9th grade coach for about 5 years also.
Is this like the only, like, is Watertown like the only place you've coached, or is there more?
No, Watertown, I went to high school, graduated in 94, went off to college for 4 years and came back. This was the one job that I've had this whole time.
Perfect, thank you, Coach Bellum. Back up to you guys. Oh my gosh,
And thank you from Molly Rosh.
Yeah, Coach Bellum, she's kind of I think she's becoming a legend around here, honestly. You know, won a state title in volleyball, was that in 2019? Didn't lose a set that year, if I remember correctly. They beat
O'Gorman in the state championship.
They beat
in
Washington.
3.
I can't remember who the other team was, but I think they beat. I think we were number 1, I think, going in, so we would have beat the number 8.
Yeah.
And then the number.
I don't remember
4,
what the.
And then the number 1 or 2.
That was, and if you talk with her, I mean, in her time as the head coach of the Arrows, but she's really created a powerhouse of a volleyball program. I mean, they are expected to make the state tournament every year.
Yeah, and there are so many times that you would see graduation where you're thinking, we're just not going to be as good this year, and by the end of the year, we're competing. So yeah, she did such a nice job, and I think now she's moving on to no more volleyball coaching.
Yeah, as we know, she's retiring from volleyball coaching, and there's an opening for a volleyball coach for the Watertown Arrows. But Pat McClemens too, he's retiring from
everything,
teaching and coaching as well.
He'll probably become full-time painting now, because I think in the summer he paints a little bit. But yeah, that's a wealth of knowledge that we're losing there on the sideline.
So I think that's an opening that's also open in the district for a basketball coach, and you know, I think teaching positions probably go along with those that are there. But yeah, both of those two, I call them both legends in what they've done, not only in the sport but in the classroom as well. And you know, both of those two just
highly intelligent people.
A lot of respect for both of those two. Well, we've got a good one here. Last year they played a 32-30 ball game. We've got a different one here tonight. The Roosevelt Rough Riders are at 30 and Watertown Arrows 24. Fairly high scoring, I would say, you know, for the Arrows and maybe even Roosevelt.
Yeah, I mean, to change the second half, the pace, I think we may have to come out and maybe full court, not necessarily like hardcore press, but make them go side to side a little more than just dribble up and get into their half court. Maybe make them work a little bit coming up the court, slow them down, get them into a shorter shot clock, Maybe that makes them rush a little bit, but change that pace hopefully. But I would still try to push the ball second half. You know, they've got Doing girl that is got 3 fouls, so I don't know if she'll start the second half, but I would think that would put her in a position to where she's got to be pretty careful. So one-on-one, we should be able to take the ball at her and try to get a layup. But again, we got to find a way to stop Callie Harris down here on the defensive end for us, because she's been tough on us. And
Callie Harris with 12 points in that first half, and Henley Loaf with 10 points, the 2 big scorers for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. For the Arrows, it's a freshman leading the way in Lydia Stemwedel, and she's got 8. Kinsey Russell right behind her at her season average of 7. So those 2 lead the way for the Watertown Arrows. As they come back in the second half, the Arrows historically have their best quarter in the third quarters. They're scoring 11 points per game. So they average a little 3.5 points more in the third quarter than Roosevelt. So, you know, this is close enough where the Arrows certainly are right in this.
Yeah, and you know, the way we started the game, if we can start this second half that way, and we could close the gap or tie it up, whatever. But if we can win the first 2-3 minutes of this quarter, you know, it's going to be pretty even again. And you know, that's all you need to do is get to that fourth quarter within 5 points, and you got a chance. So this should be a fun finish, I'd like to think. So here we go, right?
That's right. Well, superfan Darren Van Meter, now living in Sioux Falls, is chiming in saying, good half, Arrows. Keep it up. I have invited you all out to the Civic Arena. Come on down for a hot dog. I've had a couple of people say that maybe popcorn and not the hot dog.
Yeah.
So, hey, come on out and have some popcorn instead.
Heck, I'll even sign some autographs if people want.
Yeah, that was something. I don't know. I've been up here a lot longer than you have for years, and I've never had somebody come and ask for an autograph.
Well, I'm sitting on the outside, so maybe whoever sat here before, was Brian Norberg sitting here before? I mean, he might have just stopped him and said, hey kid, I'll sign that.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, well, that maybe was it. Yeah.
Now, he's more of a legend than I am, I can tell you that.
He is a legend in the Watertown area. You know, I have had a picture drawn for me, though.
Oh, yeah.
From Kiera Thu. She is one of our camera operators here tonight, which, by the way, we should... the camera crew and the Aero TV crew are all wearing some new shirts here tonight.
Yeah, and we talked about it pregame, but I think, you know, we had technical difficulties, but if you can see here, we're wearing Aero TV shirts that Andrea and Paul Pitkin got put together for us, so we really appreciate that. And I've always said anything that can maybe make me look a little better is always a good thing. So,
well,
if that's possible, that's possible.
I tell you, your hair is good tonight.
Yeah.
Everything. And of course, Andrea and Paul Pitkin's son Conrad, just a very important part of Aero TV. He can do it all. He works behind the scenes in the control room. He can do your and my job better than we can. And then sideline reporting, and so, you know, just the involvement, and we appreciate him, and of course all of the Aero TV crew. And
absolutely.
I think what Pitkins are probably out in Pierre. The Watertown Arrows took 3rd. They're wrestling in the state duels.
Yes.
So they took 3rd place. Congratulations to them. They had a great day wrestling out there in Pierre. So safe travels home to all of the families and players, or wrestlers, I should say.
So that's a good start for us. Got a little break there that they missed a shorter shot, and we came down and capitalized. So that's tough. We got to have the backside help.
Harris adds 2 more to her total. She's got 14.
You know, and Andy Olson's got to realize she's not on loof, so you may have to let your guard and take a 3-pointer, but you got to drop down and keep Callie from getting that easy look. And I'm not saying it because I don't think Roosevelt doesn't have some other girls that can make a 3, but we know what Loof can do.
And Harris.
Yeah. And we know what she can do. And those are the two that are right now beating us.
Jordan Remmers will go to the free throw line for the Arrows. Jordan Remmers shoots the free throw at 54.5%. So this next one, statistically.
Is that the first one we missed tonight, maybe?
That might be. Jordan Remmers does average 7.1 points per game, and right on cue, she does go 50% from the free throw line.
So it looks like she's going to try to maybe force her left a little bit if she can, and I don't know if that matters. We definitely are paying attention to her coming through the lane there. We have 2-3 girls on her right now, and
the Arrows do get the steal on that backside help. Came around.
Keep going, almost.
Remmers saw Thury cutting, tried to get the ball into her.
Tough pass. That's a good try, but
possession will go to the Rough Riders.
They got Andy Olson on Loof right now, switching it up a little bit. I don't know if that's because of foul trouble, maybe.
Steal by Thury, sees Russell. Russell's going to go in for the right-hand layup. Jump stop. Rough Rider just flew right by, and wide open shot. 2 more points for Kinsey Russell. She's got 9 for the birthday boy's daughter. Rhett Russell, father to Kinsey Russell. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Rhett.
Well, we're battling. Both teams are battling. You know, one thing I have noticed, I think Roosevelt would have more wins, but they seem to have stretches of where they get like 2-3 turnovers, which the Arrows have struggled with this year. And as a coach, I know that just kind of eats away at you, but they're not a bad, their record is not, I don't think, indicative of who they are as a team. I think, you know, there's some good AA schools, and I think they've played most of them. We've played most of them, so the record doesn't always speak to who you are. But, you know, in the Arrows case, we have had nights where we've turned the ball over just too much. So
the 2 freshmen in Lydia Stemwedel and Emma Olson in for the Arrows. Lily Mack might have had an opportunity, didn't shoot, goes down low to
jump ball.
Stemwedel, and we will have a jump ball. Rough Riders will take possession. The Arrows have come out and started on cue again in this 3rd quarter. Doing well. This is generally their best quarter that they play. Harris, long ways away from the basket. That's a positive for the Arrows, and we see a timeout called by Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
I noticed that we took Remmers and Andy Olson out, and those are the 2 that have been guarding Loof, and we didn't know who had her there for a second, but Kinsey Russell stepped up and took her, so get that hammered out over the 30-second timeout here.
Yeah, and in that first half, we talked about Jordan Remmers really guarding Loaf in that game, and then, you know, she has 2 fouls, and now maybe Andy Olson, it looked like, was guarding her, and now both are out. So we'll see what the matchup happens after this timeout. I'm sure that is somebody they've got to have a conversation, know where she's at.
Yep. Now, something that we haven't even talked about yet tonight, and I don't know if the Roosevelt fans get tired of this, but, you know, back in the day, Roosevelt was the premier team in the state back in like 97, I think 97 to 2001, something like that. They had a 111 game win streak. Coach Fred Tibbetts was a legend, and it seems like they won 6 titles during that.
Maybe, well, I think, didn't they have like a national record too or something in there? They were nationally known, and they just, I don't know, has there been a dynasty like that in AA girls basketball other than them?
In South Dakota, I don't believe so, not to that extent. I know like the Brookings teams back in the, I think, early 80s were really good. But that type of streak, you know, Wakanda with Becky Flynn, they were pretty dominant.
Yeah, they were good. good drive
that
by
hurts.
Russell. She just missed it.
That's a big shot that we would like to see fall, obviously.
Well, Sioux Falls Roosevelt did, and that's an offensive foul.
I think if
on Harris, that's going to be her third.
You know, I don't think that's a foul unless she wrapped her arms behind her. If she just stands there, she's good to go.
You can see it just questioning the official and having a conversation.
Kind of looked like he kind of said to him, yeah, she wrapped her arms a little bit. So
in 1996, Sioux Falls Roosevelt were runner-ups, and then in 1997, 98, 99, 2000, and 2001, they won the state championship. So just a dynasty.
Yeah. Yeah, they just, you know, they just had kids after kids. Now, you can say they had the kids, but you know what? You still have to develop kids. I don't care where you live, how many kids are coming out. You still have to develop them. And Coach Tibbetts was a master at getting kids to play. So
wide open shot, and you don't see her miss those wide open ones like that very often. Jordan Remmers on the run. She goes straight into.
That's her fourth, I think.
Is that going to be? Is that?
I think that's doing.
Is that on doing? That's an early 4.
Yeah.
3:34 remaining in this third quarter.
We got to keep pushing it, though. I feel like I'm seeing a couple of those girls maybe not wanting to run down the court as much, but I could be wrong.
And I believe I've got a correction. It was Ava Pasica, who was the second team All-State soccer player, but Dreek and Dewan are both goalies. So that is accurate information.
You know, when I did coach, anytime I had soccer players, I never could get them tired out in practice. So it's always nice to have those kids on your team.
Even the goalies?
Yeah, maybe they're a little different. I don't know. But you know what I like about the soccer kids is they have court vision usually, because they're so used to going up and having to see so far down the soccer field, which is a little bigger than basketball. So
could have had a travel, not called. Stemwedel on the dive.
She all right?
Looked like she twisted up her right arm there, but it looks like she's okay. Both players up and good. Pace on Sava was the other one on the ground, both of them up. And
it's good hustle there. Got a foul out of the deal, but you know what? She's fighting. She's going after it.
Loaf gets the ball. She's going to be at the top of the key. Now Remmers back on her. Tries to go into Harris. Saved by Stemwedel. Stemwedel gives it off to Andy Olson.
Run some offense now.
Gives it off to Stemwedel. Stemwedel. Remmers with the step through. And the left hand underarm shot. No good.
I feel like sometimes we get a little uncomfortable with the ball in our hands. Like when we stop, it's like, I have to hold on to it now for more than 2 seconds. And
yeah, it becomes that hot potato.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we end up forcing a little bit, but.
Lauren Paulson back in for the Arrows, wearing number 33. Torrance Tipton, number 35, also in for the Arrows. Shots up and good, and that one is by Alishka Flores Delgado.
And we talked about her. Don't fall asleep on her.
Only 5'1", but she plays much bigger than her height says.
Oh, yeah.
Turnover for the Arrows. Paulson tried to swing it.
A little bit of that, I think, is from one, you know, Paulson hasn't played quite as much this year, but not playing with another teammate like that, sometimes you don't know the chemistry there.
Yep.
So I think there's a little bit of that there, but.
Olson going to be called on the foul. That should be Olson's first, I believe. 35-31, quarter number 3. Stay with us right after this game. We'll have the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union player of the game, and then we're going to get off the air because we have Brian Norberg and Sam Mooney coming on for the boys game between Roosevelt and the Arrows, as we see a 5 count.
Good defense there. We needed that. You know, it's a 4-point game, and yeah, if we can keep this thing tied or even get a lead here going into the fourth quarter.
More people coming into the Civic Arena. Should be electric here for this next game. Russell with the shot. Rims in and out, and last touch by the Arrows.
Good luck.
I think it's going to get electric in this fourth quarter in this girls game too.
I think so. Like you said, we got a nice crowd shuffling in. There was a good crowd here before, you know, before this game started even, so it's nice to see.
Remmers swipes it away from Delgado. Delgado gets it back. Loaf to Loaf. Loaf guarded by Andy Olson. What's Loaf going to do? You can see she wants to shoot it, but Olson, really good defense now into the corner.
Got to reach there, looks like. Good job.
Dreek.
Good job on pressuring the guards up top here.
Last touch by Torrance Tipton as they tried to get it into Emma Adams. Emma Adams now will take it out.
You know, the nice thing that the Arrows have been able to do with subbing a little deeper is like Thury is she's getting some good rest to come back in and battle with Harris in that fourth quarter.
Olson with three, no good, rebound.
Don't reach.
By Emma Adams.
So, you know, Remmers last year would have probably picked up a foul there because she was just so aggressive to want to get that steal, and that's maturity. I don't know if Loof ever comes out of the game.
I don't know that I would take her out.
Oh, I wouldn't if I didn't have to, yeah.
Jordan Remmers will be called for her, is that going to be her third foul?
I think so. Probably get her off the floor here.
That's that, or is that her fourth? They've got her on the board for 4 fouls.
I don't remember her getting her third, but.
And there you will see Jordan Remmers checking out with 34 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Stemwedel will come back in for Jordan Remmers. Shots up and no good. Rebound by Kinsey Russell. Russell looked at it. She is going to get fouled by Payson Savan.
You do a good job with that.
I hope so. I hope so. If I don't, I do want to apologize to Payson and her family, but hopefully.
Freshman. Good young player. Oh, nice step through.
Shots up. Big shot by Kinsey Russell. She's having herself a nice game. 11 points for Russell, and she's going to go to the charity stripe. Kinsey Russell shoots the free throw at a 51.6%. Shots up and gets the roll.
Shooter's touch.
Russell now with a dozen.
No surprise that he brings back Harris for this last possession. Probably going to look to get it in there and get a layup or a foul.
Olson's not going to make it easy on Loaf. Good defense by Andy Olson. Loaf shoots off the front of the rim. Good defense by Andy Olson. Chalk that up to a win.
Yeah, definitely. I just like that she wasn't reaching. She just moved her feet, kept her out. And as much as we don't want to see her shoot, you probably get a win with a step back that's 2-3 feet off the three-point line. That's a tough shot for anybody. So.
And we're going to send it down to Molly Roche, who is with Erica Paulson. Take it away, Molly.
Watertown Middle School. How long have you been a teacher or like a coach?
16 years. I was at Hamlin for 6, and then I've been at Watertown for 10 years.
Do you really like being at the middle school, or do you wish like you had a different setting?
I love the middle school. I've taught high school, I've taught elementary, and I just like that age group. They're a little weird, and so am I.
So basically, you've been like all over, and like you enjoy middle school.
Yeah, they're great. You know, we can all be a little awkward together.
Oh, I remember when I was in middle school, that wasn't the best. Anyways, thank you, Miss Polson. Back up to you guys.
You know, I got to say that her skills as a middle school teacher pay off really well because of, you know, she's got, what, 2 daughters and not really a son, but her husband, Matt, who's kind of a middle schooler.
Yes.
He works at the middle school as well, so I joke. He's a great guy, great family.
Great job by Molly Rosh, our sideline reporter. But Molly's not wearing the shirt.
She mustn't have got the memo, or somebody didn't throw her the shirt when she came up here. I know she's got one.
Oh, does she? Because Kiera's been all over giving the shirts out.
Well, you know, Molly doesn't sit still very much, so she's like up and down and gone. So
that is true.
It's probably before you had a chance to say anything, she was out of here with that microphone. So
here we are at 4th quarter. This is it's a good game.
Yeah,
Jordan Remmers puts the Arrows on top for the first time in a long time. 36-35 in quarter number 4.
Smart move here to pull Remmers off of Luth. Now she got switched up to her now, but keep the ball out of her hands if you can. That's too easy there. We got a big step over, cut her off if we can.
Back and forth. Here we go. 3 to Remmers. Remmers shoots. Good rebound by Andy Olson underneath the bucket. Gives it back out to Remmers.
Clock. We can run a little bit here, a little offense. It's not often when Lily Mack is down low.
I was just going to say she's down there posting up.
And she had it, and I think we were looking at her, but we just...
Yeah, you don't see that too often. Caitlin Dewan will come back in for Roosevelt. She has 4 fouls. Callie Harris with 3. She's the other one that has a little bit of foul danger. She's also in. She wears number 51. Shots up, wide open, no good. And Dewan did step out of bounds trying to save that arrow ball. Remmers will be picked up at half court by Loaf.
Good take. Saw the lane and went through it.
That will send Kinsey Russell to the free throw line. Kinsey Russell with 12 points. She's going to shoot 2. We talked about Roosevelt and their championships, but Watertown's been no slouch either. They've had a tradition in women's basketball. They've won 4 state titles. One in 1976, in 1993, 2007, and their last one was in 2009. So they're due for another one here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and we could have won 3 in a row back then. I mean, Pierre was so good back then and knocked us out of that semifinal game, and Steph Pollock had an offensive board and put it up at the buzzer and beat us by, I think, a point.
Oh, really?
Otherwise, we go to the championship game and have a shot, you know. But good basketball team. Tara Heiser led the way back then.
Tara Heiser, one of the
Gottsleben girl that was a good shooter.
Tara Heiser, one of the best women's basketball players to come out of Watertown. You know,
yeah,
I put her and, you know, Taya Miller, who we saw just a couple weeks ago right here in the Civic Arena.
And then we had, who was it that played for North Dakota State?
Jamie Berry.
Jamie Berry,
yeah,
another really good ball player.
Fantastic athlete. And
I know there's others back that I haven't lived here long enough to know who they are, I guess. But we got a couple of young girls here, hopefully, that maybe can prove another name that we'll talk about for a while.
Yeah, I hope so. I look forward to that. Emma Olson is called for the travel, as Olson and Thury and Stemwedel and Russell and Andy Olson in for the Arrows.
I think that as an Arrow fan, you got to be happy right now. I mean, yes, we've got a 1-point lead, but we're in this game in the 4th quarter, and That's what we can't give up, is that open look right there with her and Loof especially.
Alishka Flores Delgado with the three-pointer. That is 6 points for Delgado, and both of her are three-pointers. So
yeah.
She's had 2 of them.
When she gets her feet set, she's pretty deadly out there, I've noticed. When like that little step back she did earlier, maybe throws her out of her rhythm a little, but she's not quite that type of shooter like Loof is. Loof can just kind of pull up and go, but when she's set, catch and step into it, she's pretty good.
Sioux Falls Roosevelt up by 2 with 5:23 remaining in this fourth quarter. This has been a really good game, back and forth between these two teams. Both of them fighting for postseason. They want to keep playing. They want it, just the opportunity.
Yeah. You know, and the problem with a game like this, if you win, you get, I think, power points wise, I think you get 41. But if you lose, I think you get, what is it, 33? 33,
yeah,
and that hurts.
So.
The loss here hurts more than most losses. Like if you're playing O'Gorman and get beat, you still get your 39 points, which actually, when you're a 16 seed, that actually increases your power points. So, yeah, a loss tonight is almost more detrimental than the win, than what the win will do. Yeah.
So right now, Sioux Falls Roosevelt in 14th spot and Watertown in that 16th and final spot, but they are really close together in that PowerPoint standings. Russell working right there at the elbow, gives it off to Olsen. Olsen goes in, and she is going to be fouled by Harris, and that's going to be number 4.
That's a big foul for them and a good one for us. It's a good take, good backdoor cut. You know, a lot of times we talked about it just a little bit ago where we seemed to panic a little bit. Russell just kept her calm, made the nice little pass for backdoor cut. So
Andy Olsen, another 51.2% free throw shooter. She averages just about 5 points per game. That was her first point. Next one up, and she is going to shoot right at her average at the free throw line, and that 50%. Loaf now will set up the offense for Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Feeling hot, misses that one, misses everything. Kinsey Russell to the races. She's got numbers, gives it out to Remmers. Remmers shoots and drains it for Jordan Remmers.
I tell you what, she does not get the award for arch on a shot, but it goes in, doesn't it?
It does. She kind of pushes it up as we see this replay. You can see that shot and just nothing but net.
Not much room for error there. So
sure isn't. That's
she's probably good at throwing darts, I guess. I don't know.
Well, maybe.
Talk to her dad.
Do they have a dart board at their house?
I'll have to find out.
42-40. Timeout.
Good battle here. I mean, you know, what have we been averaging this season for points? 36, somewhere around there?
Watertown has been averaging 36.5 points per game, and Roosevelt's been averaging 39.6 points per game. So both teams over their season averages.
You know, and, you know, here's the thing that at halftime, we gave up 30 points. Roosevelt, that's really a pretty good amount. You think about matching that, you get to 60. That's a tough team to beat for us. 10 points later, we're halfway through fourth quarter. So I think that's a big win for Watertown.
Watertown won the third quarter.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens in the fourth quarter. Watertown averages 9.5 points in the fourth quarter, and Roosevelt averages 9 points in the fourth quarter. So this is coming down to be a close one here at the end. We'll see. Maybe free throws will be the deciding factor. Loaf picked up by Remmers, and a foul by Ellie Thury. That should be Ellie's, what is that, her second, I believe.
I got to give a shout out to Kenny Locker lives in town here, but he's an Ipswich guy who just grew up 15 miles away from my stomping grounds. Good dude. He gave a shout out. So
is that the Tigers, Ipswich?
Ipswich Tigers, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Harris gets the bucket and the foul.
He was a good football player.
You know, I had heard that. I had heard that.
He's a good talker too. I don't know, have you ever talked with him?
I do know that. Yes, yes. I have had some conversation with Kenny. Yeah.
Good guy.
I saw his wife here. So is he at home watching the game while his wife is here in the in the stands? So she's standing up right there.
She is.
Yeah.
Who's that guy she's sitting with? I'm just kidding, Kenny. Just kidding.
Oh, as we see a scrum, both teams, both girls battling. Love to see it. You can see neither team wants to drop this one, and they're going to call a jump ball.
Yeah, we talked about this being almost a playoff game already, so they know the importance and they're playing like it. So it's good to see because, you know, unfortunately the Arrows haven't had a lot of high points this year, but they're playing well. That was good defense. Ooh.
Oh, are they going to call a foul on Russell there?
That's a tough call, but she might have hooked her there a little bit. I don't know.
You can see Kinsey Russell trying to see looking up at the replay, the Arrow TV replay.
It's a tough call, but I think she kind of hooked her arm a little maybe. And Roosevelt girl had the ball, so.
Shots up, no good. Rebound, and she is going to step out. That'll be Arrow ball. Kinsey Russell now with 3 fouls. She does lead the Arrows right now in points with 14 with 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter.
So now, you know, we got just under 4 minutes here, and it's going to come down to, I think, who doesn't make mistakes and knocks in a couple shots. And people at home are going, no kidding.
Stemwell shoots, no good. Rebound.
That was a good opportunity
by Doohan. Yeah, one-on-one, you'll take that with her. Payson gives that off. Shots up, and no good. Rebound by Loaf, and looks like
jump ball. No, they're going to call it.
Ellie going to tie her up. So cousin, non-cousin.
Yep. Right
there. They'll talk about that later.
You said first cousins?
I believe they're first cousins. Yeah. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me on online, but I believe they're first cousins. We will see Torrance Tipton checking in for Ellie
Defensive
Thury,
sub there, so Thury doesn't get her 4th.
And Andy Olson in for Lydia Stemwettle.
Or get her 5th, sorry.
Doing to Loaf. Loaf shoots. Drained it. Drained it.
Your heart skips a beat when she gets that open.
Cold-blooded.
Yep.
45-42, 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Russell working against Doohan, now gets it off to Mack. Jordan Remmers takes it right at Loaf, and Loaf is going to be called for the foul. You can see Loaf doesn't agree with it. She's looking at her coach like, I was straight up, but let's see, you know, that...
I don't know if she got the arm. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, not from our
Maybe
angle.
a little body. Hard to say. But as an Arrow fan, we're going to take it.
We call it. We take it. Yep. Jordan Remmers gets the first one of this 2. And makes the second one. You know, it's good for these.
Who's on her?
She wasn't expecting to be that wide open. You could see it. She came to that jump stop.
Somebody didn't pick her up, and that's a big no-no because that's the one person you should be.
Henley Loaf now with 17.
Bounce pass.
Henley Loaf quickly up to 17. Callie Harris with 16, and Roosevelt will get the ball back. You could feel that the crowd is in this for both these teams, and it's good for the Arrow girls to have play in front of a crowd like this.
Absolutely. I don't know about you, but I'm nervous.
Yeah,
I haven't been nervous yet this year, but I'm a little nervous here. Nervous though.
Yeah, it's a good nervous, and hopefully the girls have a little of that nervous energy too.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a positive. Yep. We've got somebody chiming in here and telling us what the play is going to be. So Roosevelt's coach is going to put in a play in the final 2 minutes. He's going to run a back screen, and the big will catch it at the wing and pass it to a guard who's wide open off the back screen. So is that a call? I think that's a call.
Yeah, and is there a prize for that if it's the right call?
That's pretty good. Yeah, in the final 2 minutes. So we have to wait at least 19 seconds.
I'm going to text Coach Rhodey here real quick. No, I'm kidding. Well, you know, if you remember, right at the, was it first quarter, they had that little backdoor cut that Harris did on the weak side. They tried to inbound it, and she had it, but I think it was Mack. I think Lily Mack jumped up and tipped it on the inbound pass.
I think that's right. Yeah,
but here we're on the baseline, so she's probably going to set a screen for a three-pointer and then drop straight down, maybe. No.
Saya Savan trying to get it in, just gets it in.
We defended that pretty well.
Andy Olson.
Pick and roll coming here.
Back to Saya Savan. Off to Dewan. Dewan tries to go into Harris, and that is going to be off of Thury. Trying to get it into Callie Harris. Callie Harris with 16 points and 4 fouls. She's going to inbound it. She gets it to Dewan. Dewan shoots, and Dewan is going to be fouled by Kinsey Russell.
Often you see that where you've played really good defense. Ball goes out, you got just a few seconds, and you foul. That hurts.
Kinsey Russell will now have 4 fouls. Also with 4 is Ellie Thury and Jordan Remmers.
Yeah.
Dewan puts the first one in.
They've just got Dewan and Harris with the 4, so it could be, you know, who gets that first person to foul out could be the impact. That
Harris with a big rebound.
Big block by someone with 4 fouls.
Yeah, Jordan Remmers with the block.
Big play. She gets her hands on that. You're probably.
Remmers goes right in, and that is going to end Callie Harris's night. Jordan Remmers.
If she makes these free throws, I think that really puts us, I'm not going to say in the driver's seat, obviously, but that I think this game is even then. Being down by 2 with her on the bench gets us to a spot where now we don't have to quite pay so much attention down low, and we can guard Loof a little stronger, double team her maybe a little bit, and force somebody else in this game from Roosevelt to beat us. And we already know Delgado has that ability to knock shots in, so she's the one I would kind of pay attention to besides Loof here.
Jordan Remmers with 14. The 6'3" center for Roosevelt has fouled out. There's 1:30 remaining. Loaf on the runner off the glass.
It's taken over.
She's with 19. Is Loaf. Shots up by Remmers. No good. And rebound by Ellie Thury. Big rebound. Gives it off to Remmers. Remmers now to Russell.
Get a good shot here. Doesn't have to be a 3. Just get an open one.
Russell was looking at Andy Olson, and Andy Olson cut. And Russell wasn't ready for the cut. That will be a turnover. Roosevelt up by 4. There's 1:04 left of this ball game. Loaf, no surprise, has the ball in her hand. She is guarded by Andy Olson. Andy Olson, Jordan Remmers done a really good job on her tonight.
They mustn't do the 5-second call anymore.
There's been a couple of times I thought that
they must have changed that rule.
Olson tries for the steal, and you can see Loaf is just dribbling. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Gives it off to Delgado. Delgado now to Payson. Back to Loaf. Loaf is going to shoot. Geez. She shoots, and no good. Rebound to Olson.
Got to get a quick one here.
25 seconds remaining. And Kinsey was gonna set up for that 3-pointer. Timeout by the Arrows. 22 seconds remaining. Arrows down by 4.
Yeah, and this timeout's as much about defense as it is possession offense, because one, you want to play that you're going to make it, and then what are you setting up into? You know, And honestly, if we make a shot here, we're going to take a timeout to stop the clock, because we've got 3 left. So, but if we miss it, it's going to have to be go get a foul. So probably just reminding them of that real quickly, but then drawing up a quick little play here, because we don't want to take 10 seconds off the clock here trying to score.
So let's see, what are the fouls at right now? The Arrows have committed.
Yeah, they're in the bonus. So
5. Okay.
We're both in the bonus, looks like.
Yep. All right. So expect. You don't need a 3-pointer here. You just need a good shot, 2 points, and then probably a foul, I would say. .14 seconds remaining. And Ellie Thury will go to the free throw line. Ellie Thury, just under 50%. First shot's up, and misses that one. So needs to get this one. 14.5 seconds remaining. Shots up, no good.
That'll be Remmer's 5th, it looks like.
Remmers with the 5th foul. And yes, I did get confirmation, so thanks for chiming in that Ellie Thury and Henley Loeb are first cousins. So that's kind of a fun memory, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And then Jordan Remmers, she had a really good night. She ends her night with 14 points, did foul out.
Yeah, she played well. You know, both teams, I thought, we didn't see that night where we just had turnovers from both teams, and it was like, who's gonna lose the game? Tonight, I feel like Roosevelt is looking like they're gonna win the game.
They are at this point, and quick timeout by Chad Brody with 7.7 seconds remaining, 51-46 to Roosevelt. And Jessica Lacine chiming in, says, let's go Arrows. We're cheering for these Arrows. They've played a good game tonight. They averaged 36 points a game. They put up 46 here. They've played a very competitive. It was back and forth for the better part of that third quarter where they came back, and so we talk about the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union player of the game, and we generally give it to the winning team, so that's where we're going to go. But there's some players for the Arrows that had some really good games.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, Remmers had 14 or 15, something like that. Played good defense, just played a really sound game tonight. And then Kinsey Russell, same thing. Points-wise, 14 right now. Played a good game. But I do think that we had some other kids that didn't score necessarily. I thought Andy Olson did a nice job on defense tonight, handling the ball. So we had a good performance tonight from the Arrow girls, and they have nothing to hang their heads over. Stemwhittle
had
kept
a nice
us in
game.
that first half. So
agreed. Yep. Yeah, these Arrow players, I think they can be proud of this game. And I hope they had fun playing in front of a crowd like this. This is probably the biggest crowd they've played.
Gotta shoot it.
All night or all year.
Gotta shoot it.
Kinsey's going to go to Olson. Olson's going to shoot. And they're going to count it. So 49-51. The Arrows are going to drop this one to the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders by 2 on the last second three-pointer of Andy Olson. Well, Coach, who do we have for the Dakota Land Federal Credit Union player of the game?
Well, we talked that we like to give it to the winning squad, and I think there's just really one player that really stood out tonight, and that's the sophomore Henley Loof. So She gets the Dakota Land Player of the Game. She did a nice job shooting. She made a really tough 2-point basket there at the end from the left side. And that was a big basket that got them, I think, up by 6. So she earned it. She's a good player. They're going to be, they could surprise somebody yet this year, I think. Rosie could.
So there you go. That is the end of our game here. Will stay with us. We have the boys game. Sam Mooney and Brian Norberg will be right with you. But for Jason Hemrick, I'm Cam Corey, and we want to say good evening.
Yeah, take care.